had a good week. I got to spend a little time with Addison. She and I are doing Sunday school together, and occasionally when some of her friends come, or we have other children, so that's exciting to me. I'm enjoying that. So I haven't spoken much with Avery. So Avery, would you help me today? Would you come up here? I need you to help me with this project today. I tell you what, I want you to stand right there, because I want everybody to be able to see you. And up here, the pulpit kind of is in the way. Would you like some chips? I have a chip. Oh, wait a minute, they're all gone. Let me, here, I'm glad I brought another, well, anyway. These are Pringles cans. Now, you've probably had Pringles all of your life, and they're just the neatest thing. Stacked up potato chips. But the fanciest thing that we ever had, to begin with, as a difference, was Ruffles. We had potato chips. All of a sudden, when I was younger, we had Ruffles. You know what Ruffles have? Ridges. Ruffles have ridges. So we had Ruffles. Anyway, Pringles. Pringles are not real food anymore. They're processed. They take potatoes and they mash them up and make them in kind of like mashed potatoes. And then they pour them out into molds. And so they're not really created or constructed potato chips, but I love them. I can eat a whole tube full of them. All right, we're going to do something today. All right, we need to make some preparations here. I have some string. I want you to take this end of the string and go over there and just hand it to Mimi, okay? All right, stay right there with me because I want you to bring that back here in just a minute. Got some scissors. We used to do this when I was a little boy. We had a little building that was out behind our house, and it was like a storage building, but we sometimes had a ping pong table out there, sometimes most often a pool table. We lifted weights out there. We camped out there a lot, had sleepovers out there. It was just a wonderful place to go because there were no grown-ups out there. Shortly after it was built, we began calling it the Little House. Take these out to the little house. Where's Danny? He's out in the little house. It was like, it's a little house. It only had it was divided into 3 compartments. And it really wasn't, it was never really finished on the inside. But we would run a string from the house to the little house. All right, get that end of the string and bring it here, April. Have you ever seen this or heard of this? Get that can. I've got this can. Turn it upside down. What do you see on the bottom there? Oh, you started to stick that string in there, didn't you? All right, we'll do that. I'll do that too. Stick it down in there and stick so much of it in there in that hole that it comes out the top. Keep poking it in there.
She could probably put her hand in there and get it. She could probably put her hand in there and get it.
Can you put your hand in there and get it? Yeah, there it is. I might have to get you to put your hand in there and get mine. Pull it out like that. Now, put that can underneath your arm and make a knot right there. Make as big a knot as you can on the end of the string. And then make another knot on top of that. What we want to do is make a big old knot. And another knot. We don't want it to slip back through the hole. See, like that? I made all of my knots on top of each other. So go ahead and make one more knot. See if you can get those 2 knots to join together. We're going to get you in the Boy Scouts. All right. I think that'll work. All right? Go to the bottom, pull that. Have you ever seen this before? Have you ever seen something like this? You know what this is, what it's for? Yeah. It's like a telephone. Talk to each other. And it really works. Now, we've only got enough string, it's kind of dumb, really. We say, I can hear you, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. But you can stretch this out a long way, and you can talk to it. So go back over there where Mimi's at. Now, if you just use like a can of beans or a pecan or a Coke can, that'd be like a regular call. These chip cans, you know what kind of call they make?
Long distance.
Your long distance. You have no idea what a long distance call is, do you? What about a toll call? People still, I have a boss, he still talks about toll-free call. Nobody pays for calls anymore. They just, it's a problem. All right. Go a little bit farther back. We need to stretch this string tight. Stretch it tighter. All right. Now very quietly, say something in there. Say something again. All right, put it to your ear now. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you actually hear me in the can? Now, if you never wanted to come down from your room, you just string up one of these for Mom and Dad downstairs and say, I don't want to come down, bring me my food up here. That's a great idea. All right, bring that back over here, Adrian. I'm going to be preaching today about prayer. Thank you. You can sit with your sister. I've got just another moment. I'm going to be talking about how we talk to God. Talking with God. Prayer. And prayer is one of the things that feeds us. It's one of the things that nourishes us. It's a part of being a grown-up Christian. It's a part of what gets us by and pushes us ahead. We can't get by without prayer. It's a part of it should be a part of our daily food. Talking with our Heavenly Father, with God. And we don't have to use something like this. We don't even have to use a telephone because sometimes the internet doesn't work or sometimes the service goes down. God is everywhere, so anyone who wishes to speak to God can simply just speak to God. The Bible tells us that every child of God, though every Christian, has a great advantage. When we become a Christian, God comes to live inside of our lives. And so we're not saying, hey, God! We're saying, He's inside me. And I don't even really have to say anything. I'm in touch with Him all the time. I don't have to call Him. I don't have to dial Him up. I don't have to know His number. All I have to do is think. All I have to do is, in my heart, reach out to Him. We never say goodbye. We never say so long. We never hang up. He's always there. And He's listening to me always. I know He does. And I'm always listening to Him too because there are many, many different ways in which He speaks to me. Prayer. There's a lot to learn about prayer. I hope you've already started learning. It's just lots better than having chip cans and string. All right? That was fun making anyway. I hadn't made one of those in a long. Next Sunday we're going to be making a slingshot out of a rubber inner tube. And then we're going to get a sapling and make a bow and arrow. We hardly ever bought any of our toys. We just made them out of stuff that we found in the garage or out in the little house. It was always lots of fun. We did get some darts one time, and Brother Danny threw a dart at me and it sunk up in my ankle. That wasn't very. And then I left him with he had some broadhead arrows and a real bow, and I don't know why, but I left those in his hands and I went up to the target where the target was, and he shot me in the back of the leg with an arrow. So I'd never turn my back on him anymore. Boy, it's a wonder we survived. Anyway, I hope that you don't treat each other that way. We treated each other that way, and we did all right, and we don't do that to each other anymore. But anyway, think about your conversation with God. Pray. Pray. It's more important than anything you would ever say to another person. All right? Thanks a lot. You go sit back down again. I'll call you if I need you on the chip can.